All righty. It appears that we are recording. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. We're all good. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. I love doing this Zoom on Tuesdays because Tuesdays is payday, and I just feel like it's a great day to like come together as a team. Like I think Lisa's is a great prelude to payday, and then I just like to finish out the day this way because Tuesdays are just awesome. Like you guys, I remember even back when my paydays were like $15, I still loved Tuesdays. Like I just loved them. It didn't matter whether the payday was had a comma in it or it was barely $10. I still loved Tuesdays, so that's why I love doing these Zooms on Tuesdays. We have a lot to talk about tonight, so I'm glad to see all of you on here. There is still time to send out last minute reminders. I'm going to go over some announcements before we dive into the heavy stuff. So send out those last minute reminders if you need to. I've got my notes here so I can stay on track. First thing, if you completed the 40K challenge, I want you to how do I want to say this? If you are in my address chat where I keep everybody's addresses, just drop that you completed the 40K challenge. If you are not in my address chat and you completed the 40K challenge, message me. Okay. Everybody who completed the 40K challenge with Lisa is going to get a prize from me. It's nothing huge, but I'm incredibly proud of you guys. I know how hard that is. I did it last year and I complained to Stephanie Grachik like 14 times and I was like, I'm going to quit. I'm out. I'm going to quit. And I never did. And I never got any strikes, but I know how hard it is. Lisa does not pull any punches with that push group. So we had like over 10 people on our team on my downline specifically. We had like over 10 people complete it, and the majority of them completed it with no strikes. So that's like honestly amazing. So send me your address or drop it in the address chat. We'll figure it out, but I'm going to send something to all of you. The other thing, did you see, give me a 2 in the chat if you saw that Stephanie Grachik in Thrive to Survive is dropping incentives like every single day. Every single day. And there is one that just got dropped like 2 hours ago. Okay. Those incentives, I personally, this is how I feel about incentives. I love incentives simply for the challenge. Like I like for someone to give me a goal and I'm going to run after the goal. Like I like that. That's how my brain works. So it doesn't matter if like they're giving away a bag of Cheetos. If they tell me to go get 2 new customers for a bag of Cheetos, like I'm going to get that bag of Cheetos. And that's just my personality. Not everybody has that personality, but I love what Steph is doing because I'm just like itching for her to drop the next one. So tonight's that she dropped was Be Thriving for Free. That is totally doable, you guys, especially if you had mini experiences out at the end of the month. Be reaching out to those mini experiences. Your credits are live, offer them $20 off. Send them $20 in credits to get their 3-step order. Reach out to those people who were wishy-washy at the end of the month. Maybe they were waiting for payday on the 1st. There's all kinds of ways that you can reach out to Be Thriving for Free. I don't know what the timeline was, but anyway, to Be Thriving for Free. So keep an eye out for steps. 10-day hard with Brittany is postponed for right now. Brittany got COVID and she got it bad. I mean, she's fine. She's at home. She's home, but like she's one sick puppy. And so 10-day hard is being postponed until Brittany can like function as a human being again, because she's not even able to get out of bed at this point. So 10-day hard is going to be postponed. So everybody just take a deep breath. It gives you a chance to like get your bearings before we go into that. What else did I have to talk about? Okay, I think that's all of it. Are we ready to talk about the big stuff? I have had so many conversations over the past few days with sidelines, uplines, downlines. I've had all the conversations. and they all centered around mindset. If you were on the prayer Zoom this morning, I talked about it on the prayer Zoom, but I've had so many conversations over the past few days about mindset. And I think that word has lost its appeal. Like, I think honestly the word mindset has kind of, we've heard it so much that we're not actually thinking about what it means. So you guys, if you feel like last month was not like, I'm keep pulling up my notes so I don't get off track. If you feel like last month was not your best month, I'll be completely transparent with you guys. I did not hit my 40K bonus on Kenneth's account. So that's the first time that I lost that bonus since getting it in March. Financially, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, I had to reckon with that. That happened. Losing rank happens, and I'm being incredibly real and raw and transparent to tell you that. A lot of people who lose rank are like ashamed of it. It happens, but I don't want it to happen again. So I'm having to come to terms with, okay, why did it happen? What can I do differently? What was I not doing last month that I was doing other months? And those are things that we all have to do. We have to reflect on what happened the month before and pivot. We have to pivot, and we have to be able to be real and honest with ourselves. Now, one of the things that I've been having conversations about, and like I said, I've had so many conversations about this. When you think about, okay, like envision this with me. When was the most abundant time for you in your business? And I don't care if you just joined a month ago or you've been here for 2 years, but I want you to pinpoint the time in which you felt like you were having the most success, whether that was financially, whether that was in leadership, or I don't care what your definition of success is, but when was that? Give me a 3. If you can pinpoint when that was. When that was for you, give me a 3, or throw the dates up. I'm seeing July, I'm seeing August, September. Okay, now I'm seeing 3s. Okay, you know when that was. What were you doing? What were you doing? Because whatever you were doing was working. And I know that sounds so simple that you just want to like bang your head against the wall, but in reality, that was working. You guys, we have to evolve. Yes, we have to evolve. Okay, you got to try new things. You got to grow. You got to develop. You got to do all of those things. But who was on Lisa's 200K leadership today and heard Ashley Sy say that she always leads with the products because the products are what changed her life? She always leads with the products. If you go watch Ashley Sy's stories, she's talking about the products all day long. Different products all day long. I think sometimes, and this is a little bit of a tangent, I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in attraction marketing. We get so wrapped up in, oh, I want to sprinkle thrive, that we actually aren't even sprinkling it. We're trying to be so covert about the fact that we're a thriver, or we're trying to be so covert about the fact that we love these products and we share them and we use them, that we sorry, it's telling me something about the computer. We get so wrapped up in trying to be covert and that we actually forget to talk about the products. We actually forget to shout it from the rooftops that we love these products. We love our 3 steps. We love our lifestyle mix. We love our jumper cables. And I'm not just talking about throwing it in your stories every morning. Okay. That can become very bleh. If people see that every single day, they're like, okay, yeah, we get it. You got this purple little packet that's got these capsules in it. Whoop-de-doo. You need to talk about why you love these products. You can't hide behind them. You have to grow and develop yourself as an excellent marketer, an attraction marketer. You have to do those things. However, at the end of the day, the products are why we're all here. I guarantee you, if I went to some of your guys' profiles right now, like if you dropped in the comments and you were like, Lydia, I feel like last month was not my best. I guarantee you I can go to your profile and see that you were not being upfront and loud and proud about your products. Are you sharing before and afters? Are you sharing testimonies? Are you doing live interviews? Are you doing 3-ways to get third-party validation? Okay? Don't get so caught up and being covert about your Thrive business that you forget to talk about your Thrive business. People can't read your mind. And especially if you're adding to your network all the time. If you're adding to your network all the time, you need to be talking about the products all the time, because that means there are new people on your page all the time that have no clue what you're talking about. Sharing your 3 steps in your stories every morning is fantastic, but are you just showing a picture of the capsules and not talking about what those capsules do? I'm guilty of this. So hopefully when we're done with this call, you guys can, have a come to Jesus moment with yourself and think about what you were doing when you were most successful. If you need to, go all the way back on your social media timeline. Go figure it out. Go watch and see what was inspiring people. What were people resonating with? What were you talking about? All of those different things. Here come the kids. Just a second. Hi. Hello, boys. What's the question? What's the question?
Okay.
I'm doing a call right now. I'll be out in a second. Sorry, guys. Anyway, and Kenneth just sent me a text message that said, "When is Lavelle going to add this to the car bonus list?" And I don't
It's
even
a
know.
brand new electric Ford truck.
Okay, I'm sure it's on the car bonus list. Oh my God, my family. Love them to death. Love my husband's mindset. He's like, go get this truck. You guys, scroll all the way back if you need to. Okay? Figure out what you were doing when it was working. Yes, you have to grow. But if it worked, you ain't gotta fix it. Okay? You don't gotta fix it if it ain't broke. So that's one thing that we need to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is you cannot become offended if people don't want this as bad as you want this. It's unfortunate that not everybody has the motivation as the 14 people who are on the Zoom tonight. Okay? There are hundreds of people on our team. And there's a very small number of them on this Zoom. Those of you who are on this Zoom, that tells me you're in this. Okay? But that being said, you cannot be offended when there are other people in this world who don't have the same mentality as you, that don't see the vision, that don't have the drive, that don't get the motivation. Okay? You can't become offended by that. However, seek out the people who do. Okay? I always try to think about, I want to find me. I want to find the person who I was when I first started. I want to find someone who I can help physically get their health back, but I also want to find someone who has the same motivation and drive as me. And I don't necessarily mean like they think like I do, they act like I do. That's not what I mean. I just mean that they have that deep down grit that it takes to be successful at anything. Okay, we're talking about the Girl Scouts. You guys remember the Girl Scouts? Or like, I always use this example when people laugh at me. You remember when we were in elementary school and they had us do those like candy drives or like cookie drives, and you had to like go out and sell as many like cookies as you possibly can, and whoever sold the most in your school got this like really pathetic prize that didn't really add up. Like, does that make sense? But you were the type of person who was like, I'm going to go sell 1 million candy bars to get those headphones. Like your mom could have gone out and bought you the headphones, right? But you were going to sell 1,000,000 candy bars to get the headphones, because not only did you want the headphones, but you wanted to prove that you could sell 1,000,000 candy bars to do it, right? Somebody has got to resonate with that. Like, somebody on here was that type of personality. That's how I was. Like, always hustling, like hustler from day one. And not everybody's like that. Not everybody is like that. However, a lot of people who are very successful in any industry are like that. So, what type of people are you looking for to add to your team? If you add someone to your team who is all talk, don't be surprised when they're all talk. If you add someone to your team who, is doing it because they want a quick VIP 800 bonus and they don't have the vision for the rest of what we've got going on here, don't be surprised if they don't even get the VIP 800 bonus, because they're like this. They don't have the big picture. Okay? They don't have the headphones that they're going to get if they sell 1,000,000 candy bars. They're just worried about selling 5 candy bars because that's all that the teacher asked. Don't burn yourself out trying to drag people along with you. I guess that's the point that I'm trying to get to. The point that I'm trying to get at is, don't burn yourself out trying to convince other people that they want what you know they can have. If someone wants to run alongside you, great. But if you're going to have to drag them along, don't bother. Always check in with people, always try to maintain relationships, but don't burn yourself out. Trust me, if you have to teach someone what a brick is, they are not the people you want to build with. If you have to teach someone what a brick even is, they are not the people that you want to build with. You want to find people who already know what a brick is, they just need a pile of them. Those are the people that you want to build with. Okay, moving on. So, kind of backtracking a little bit. No, you don't want to burn yourself out trying to convince other people to do what you're doing. However, are you acknowledging the people who are with you? Are you acknowledging the people who are with you? And I mean promoters, I mean customers, I mean sidelines, whoever. Are you acknowledging the people who are with you? Are you shouting people out on Thrive to Survive and building an empire? Are you sending thank you notes to customers? Are you sending welcome packs to new promoters? And I'm not saying you have to do any of these things. Nobody has to do anything. In some ways, that's the beauty and the downfall of this business. Nobody has to do anything. However, the people who go above and beyond are the ones who are more sustainable in this business. Okay? So are you acknowledging the people who are in this with you? I don't care if you're only able to send out 5 thank you cards a month. Try to do it. Send out 1 a week if that's all you've got in you. Send it to people who have been customers for a long time. Send it to people who just got their first order. It doesn't matter, whatever makes sense to you, but are you acknowledging the people who are in this with you? Do an incentive for the promoters who are with you on your downline. If they plug into a Zoom, send them $10 in credits and say, hey, I saw you show up. I saw you show up on that Zoom. I'm proud of you. And acknowledge them. Build a sense of loyalty, both with your team and with your customers, right? People are more loyal and trusting and in with people that they feel value them. If your people don't feel like they value you, so I know some of us have had this happen where someone will come to you and say, hey, I want to sign up with you to order Thrive. I used to have a promoter, but I feel like they didn't help me, or they just didn't care about me, or they just wanted a single order. They never followed up with me, and it just really didn't work out for me. But like, you seem like You would be really helpful. I'd love to order with you. And a lot of times it's super unfortunate because we have to say, I can't sign you up unless you get your account released, and you got to go through all the compliance stuff. But how many times have you had that happen where someone wants to sign up with you because someone else didn't appreciate them? You don't ever, ever, ever want your customers or your promoters to jump ship because they feel like you don't appreciate them. And it's a hard battle. It's a hard battle, especially when your team starts to grow. But I'll tell you what, if you create a standard for yourself while your team is small, you will have a heck of a lot easier time transitioning to higher ranks of leadership. Okay. If you start figuring out how to appreciate and validate and acknowledge people when you have 3 customers under you, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier when you have 300 customers under you to figure out that balance. But make sure you're acknowledging the people who are in this with you. Are you self-developing? And I'm really just talking about these things because these are things that, at the end of the month, we like push. And I love the beginning of the month because we can kind of like we don't want to take a step back, but we can just like take a deep breath and be like, okay, how is this month going to be different? What was I not doing? What was I doing? How do I switch this up? Do I just keep rolling the way that I'm rolling? A lot of you had an extremely successful month. So, I mean, there's some of you who are probably going like, I'm just going to keep this train rolling, and I'm there for you. But there's a lot of us who are like, okay, last month wasn't necessarily what I wanted it to be. So how are we going to adjust? How are we going to pivot? One of the big things, and it's something that I have not been doing, and I'm acknowledging that I haven't been doing it, is self-development. I used to listen to podcasts, I mean, daily, and I got kind of burnt out, and I didn't go and find new ones. And I think my mindset has suffered a little bit for it. So, what are you doing for self-development? Listening to podcasts while you commute to work. I'm pretty sure that anybody on this Zoom drives in their car at some point, right? Right? Whether it's 10 minutes, whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour, doesn't matter. Like, we're all in our car. Why are we not listening to podcasts when we are in the car? I mean, I know Morgan Wallen's a cutie, and he sings like an angel from heaven, but at the same time, like, Morgan can wait. Okay? Morgan can wait. We need to do self-development. Okay? Listen to audiobooks. If you need recommendations for audiobooks, hit me up. I will send you all of my recommendations for audiobooks. And they're not like they're not like heavy. They're just, most of them are only a few hours long, but they really, really help. What are you listening to in the morning when you get ready? Did you know that you can go to YouTube and type in motivational speeches? I know. Who knew? You could sit there and put your makeup on in the morning or take your shower and crank up Matthew McConaughey. And that's his name, by the way. It's not Matthew McConaughey. It's Matthew McConaughey. Okay. You can crank him up and listen to him while you do your makeup. Okay. What are you putting into your mind? What are you listening to? Okay. What are you listening to? What are you doing for self-development? Another thing that I've been noticing, are you making quality content? And I'm not going to talk about posts. I'm going to talk about stories. And I kind of talked about this in the beginning, but just posting a little story of your capsules, so Rachel, I'm backtracking. I'm reading comments at the same time. Rachel, you're listening to your worship music. Have you considered listening to any inspirational sermons? There are a ton of Christian podcasters. Havilah Cunnington. I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head. Jordan Lee Dooley. All kinds of inspirational business women that are in the church and solidified in their faith that could be speaking life into you, as well as listening to your worship music. Anyway, back to stories. I see a lot of regurgitating stories. Okay, stories that have been shared in the IPA chat, whatever. But you know what I notice about those? You're not in them. You're not in them. people are not paying attention all the time to those. If you're just resharing the same stories over and over again, or you're only sharing stories that other people are in or that other people have made, people will stop watching. I really hope this is something that you guys can agree that I am good at, because I feel like I am very good at it. Ashley Sy is very good at it. Creating stories that we are in, story slideshows, talking about the opportunity, talking about the products, talking about our 3 steps, talking about our favorite products, whatever. Story slideshows that look well done, well put together, that fit together in a sequence, but we are in them. Okay, we are in them. Some apps that I use for that. And they're free. They have paid options. You don't have to do the paid options. Unfold, I'll put it in the chat. Unfold is one, and my personal favorite is Canva. Okay, those are the 2 that I use to build my stories. Are you building quality stories? And Chrissy, there should be some Zooms on this. If you go look in Building an Empire, there should be trainings about this. And a lot of it's just copying. Genuinely, a lot of it is copying and just sitting there and playing with it. I cannot tell you how many times did you guys see the salted caramel? Did I share the salted caramel story slideshow in the chat? Did I share that? And it was like a sequence of stories that were about salted caramel. Maybe I didn't share it. Anyway, I will share it again. I didn't even make that. I'm fairly certain that Ashley Sy made it, and I just screenshotted hers and cropped it so that you can't tell that Ashley Sy made it. It looks like I made it, and I'll share it with you guys, and you can post it. You guys, do you know how many ideas I steal from Maria Dillard? I'll watch Maria Dillard's stories and I will screenshot them, and then I will reference them and go make my own. Like Maria might make one that has like Maria in it. I'll screenshot it and I'll go make one that has Lydia in it, but it says pretty much the exact same thing. Like, you don't have to sit there and be a creative genius to do this. You can do it with my stories. If you see a story that I made and you're like, oh, I feel like that would really resonate with my audience, screenshot that ish and go make your own. But are you making quality content? Are you putting things out there that look professional? Are you putting things out there that draw people in? Or are you just sharing the same thing over and over and over again? Or are you just taking stories? You guys, a lot of times those stories that we pull from the IPA chat, they're old. Like the quality, the resolution quality of them sometimes isn't great. And I'm not dogging on the IPA chat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, like, when there's that much repetition, if you've been in the IPA chat for 6 months, you have probably seen a lot of the same content. Okay? You can't just keep regurgitating unless it actually resonates with your audience. I have story sequences that I regurgitate all the time, but they're typically things that I'm in, and they're typically things that are relevant to my audience. Okay, don't always take the easy way out. This does require a little bit of effort. We can't just take from other people without putting in our own effort. So are you putting quality content out there? Are you following up with people? You know, one of the biggest mistakes that I made early on in this business was I didn't follow up with people. I signed people and I left. I was on to the next, Dale Brisby style, on to the next one. Okay, that's how I was, but it wasn't sustainable. So if someone gets a mini experience from you, are you following up? If someone places an order, are you following up to make sure that it arrived? Okay, are you following up to make sure that everything is going okay? Are you following up with your auto ship customers? Are you checking in with promoters who are maybe not super active, but they're still kind of in this business? Are you checking in with them and making sure that they're doing okay? You guys, I have hundreds of people that I'm touching base with that they're not super in this business anymore, but I also know that they still love their 3 steps. Still checking in. Are you taking the time to do that. This kind of goes hand in hand with the, acknowledging the people who are in this with you. It really all comes down to, are you doing the do? And are you doing the do well? Or are you cutting corners because it's easier? Because cutting corners never pays off. And I feel like we all know this. We learned that in kindergarten, right? Like cutting corners will never pay off. It's the same in this business. We're lucky to be part of an organization that provides us with a lot of cheat codes, so to speak. But at the same time, you do need to sit down and create good content. You do need to sit down and come up with original post ideas. You do need to sit down and learn how to use these various apps and play with them and take the time and frustration that it takes. Do you think the first time that I logged into Canva, I knew what the heck I was doing? No, but I figured it out because I just sat there and I played with it for a while. It does require a little bit of work and effort, but set aside time in your day to do that. And I'll tell you right now, God bless Cynthia Lindsay for being the person who does this. But there's YouTubes for everything, literally everything. You don't know how to use Canva? Look it up on YouTube. Promise you it's there. I don't know why people have time to do this, but I promise you it's there. Like, promise you. Don't know how to take good photos? Go to YouTube. Don't know how to pose in photos? Go to YouTube. Don't know how to edit your photos? Go to YouTube. It's all there, you guys. It's all there. Anything you could ever want to know about anything is on YouTube. And there's a how-to video that someone did. So take advantage of the fact that there are people out there who have way too much time in their hands, and we appreciate them for that. So all that being said, okay, these are a lot of things for us to wrap our minds around. Give me a 5 in the chat if you're still with me. If we're still tracking, you're picking up what I'm throwing down, you got it. Okay, Rachel's with me. Amanda's with me. Awesome. Geraldine's with me. Take things bite by bite. Little wins are still wins. I got myself caught up in this game last month where I was focused so much on the big picture for the first 3 weeks of the month that I was not acknowledging little wins. But when I sat down and I started to think about little wins, I started to accomplish goals. I was sitting there worrying so much about different things that were 10 days out, 20 days out, 15 days out, that in that moment I couldn't quantify, that I was kind of just spinning my wheels. Like, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to make this happen? How am I going to make this happen? Rather than just doing the do. But once I started to do the do, I started to see progress. One of the things that helped me is I looked at that Punta Cana tracker. Two auto ship customers, 3 auto ship customers, promoter auto ships, customer auto ships. I started looking at that tracker going, okay, what can I do to make that tracker move? What can I do to make that tracker move? If you have an operation winning bonus tracker, okay, what can I do to make that PPA QV move? What can I do right now to make it move? And I'm going to go do it. I looked at that Punta Cana tracker and I was like, okay, I need 2 new auto ship customers. I'm going to go get 2 new auto ship customers. Okay. And then when I did that on Kenneth, I was like, okay, I got to go do that on mine. But bite by bite, step by step, small wins are still wins, and they get you closer to the big victory. Right now, your small win should be getting qualified and active and get thriving for free. Those are 2 things right now, small goals that are very, very attainable that you should be focusing on right now. Don't worry about your 4K rank. Don't worry about your 12K rank. Don't worry about your Punta Cana tracker. Worry about getting qualified and active and thriving for free. What can you do right now to make that happen? Go and do that. Little wins are still wins, and every single bite gets you closer to whatever it is that you want out of this month. Okay. Who wants to know who the MVP and PPA winners were for October? I know I just gave you like emotional whiplash. Okay. Who feels like what we talked about? No, you can't call me daddy. That's Steph. I can't be daddy. That's Steph. As much as I would love to take on that role, Lexi, I can't. It's that's Steph's job. Hopefully, was what we talked about helpful? Was what we talked about helpful? I want to make sure that you're walking away from this feeling like you have a plan, feeling like you have a direction, feeling like you are ready to go forth and conquer. Okay, so typically our PPA and MVP are two different people. However, plot twist. Before I even looked at the PPA for this month, I had the MVP in mind. I knew who the MVP was. And I went and looked at the PPA, and that person was the PPA by at least like two. Like, I mean, it was like usually it's kind of neck and neck and we have ties and stuff, but the same person who I had in mind for the MVP was also the PPA winner. So that person is going to be getting a larger prize because they just knocked it out of the park this month. And that person is Mac Daddy, Michaela Weldon. You guys, she went to Vegas as a +1. So I mean, that's tough to stay on top of your business when you're on a lifestyle getaway. It's tough to stay on top of your business because you're like trying to be in the moment, but you're also trying to work your business and you're trying to do things that like grow your business, but you like want to be present and like you're exhausted and all of those things. And yet I saw Michaela pushing so hard at the end of the month, like hard, and still encouraging her team. Not just, so she was doing both things, both sides of the coin. Okay. She was growing her business and she was signing up her customers and she was just knocking it out of the park with orders and getting that rank advancement and all of those different things. And yet she's still checking in with her team. She's still seeing how they are doing. She's still sharing Zoom links. She's still sending out post ideas. She's doing all the things. And guess what? It pays off. Hi, Harper. I can't wait for your guys' play date this weekend. It
Oh
pays
my
off,
gosh.
you guys. It pays off. It does. And you guys, if you may start to feel like, oh my gosh, the same people always get acknowledged for the same things. Maybe you should start watching those people. What are those people doing? Because if those people are achieving those goals over and over and over again, what are they doing? Okay, so congratulations to Mac Daddy. Very, very proud of you. You had an awesome month. I hope you carry it over into this month. I know you will. I will get your stuff to you, to your house when I have it. Some stuff's coming in the mail. Couple last minute things and we'll finish up. Laura Lopez, will you share in the Thrive Hive chat the morning routine that you have come up with for yourself? Okay, because time management is going to become key during the holidays. So Laura Lopez, if you can share that. And then everybody go work on thriving for free. Go work on getting qualified and active. If you did the 40K challenge and you completed it, I need your address. I need it in the address chat. And if you're not in the address chat, I need you to message me. And I think that's all I got. Have an awesome night, you guys. So proud of you. Let's have an amazing month. If you need me, I am always here. There is no such thing as a stupid question. There is no such thing as a bad time. I am always here for you. I want to hear from you. I want to help you. I want to see you succeed, and I want you to go farther than you could even imagine. So let me come with you on that. Let's link arms. Let's go forth and conquer. Good night, you guys.